guys, so just ignore the mess in the background there, just ignore it. This week's theme is basically just talking about the books that you are reading at the moment. I take English literature as a subject, and with that you get a summer reading list of things that you need to read and things that you kind of are suggested that you read. And this time last year, or last year's summer basically, I had my reading list for my AS year, my year 12 year, that year of school basically, the year of the course, and I read basically all of the books on my 2-week holiday. I just read like book after book after book, and it was really, really good. And this year I had my English reading list, and they're all great books, but I was kind of stuck because it took me a long time to get through this book, which is The Death of the Heart by Elizabeth Bowen. I have not yet started working on this in class because it's one of my like set texts I will be doing an exam on, or one of the texts I'll be doing the exam. I only have one exam at the end of the year. Scary. And you talk about lots of different books, this being one of them. And I originally liked it, and then the more I got into it, the more I just found the characters just frustrating and just, God. I mean, it was kind of written, was it written in the 30s, I think? So you kind of got to give it like a little bit of time credit, if you know what I mean. So the style would be a little bit less upbeat than maybe a postmodern book, but God, it slowed me down so much, it just kind of put me off reading. Oh, I didn't like it basically. Although I want to withhold judgment because my English teacher says that it's actually really, really good, and when we start working on it maybe I will like the characters and it won't make me hate it, because I really do not want to read this again, even though I'm going to have to. It was just a lot of work, a lot of effort to get through. If you've ever read it, please tell me that you like it, because I'm beginning to dread working on it. The book that I read after this, which got me back into reading again, was The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which the film is coming out like in a couple of days in this country at least. I think it might already be out in some other countries, but I'm really, really excited to see the film. It's got really good reviews, but I loved the book. And it's quoted on Tumblr so much, but it is actually a really good book, and it kind of, I don't know, I appreciated it. In case you can't already tell, I'm not going to talk about a current book that I'm reading. I'm going to give you a general overview of the books I've been reading for the past couple of months. Because there's not that many, because, I don't know, I'm a very slow reader. Even though I really like reading, I'm a very slow reader, and I also do a lot of stuff. Reading is... when you're reading a book, you find time to read that book if it's a gripping enough book, but when you need to start a book, I find sometimes I keep putting off starting to read a book because I feel like I need to set time to do it, but really you don't. I don't know. I'm a hypocrite basically. Anyway, I spoke about this book in a video on this channel a couple of videos ago, I think. It is How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran. That one. My sister recommended this to me because I think a friend recommended it to her, so I'm not actually sure whose book this is. It might be Emma's friend's, it might be Emma's, but it's not mine, but I have it. I would totally recommend this to all women, and men, actually. All women and men. Bloody good book, bloody funny, and really informative actually at the same time, so loved that. I am currently rehearsing for a play called That Face by Polly Statham, so it's a play, not like a fiction novel, but I've read it, so I guess that actually counts, and I keep rereading it and rereading it and rereading it because, you know, I'm doing it, so there we go. But if you've ever read it, it's good, isn't it? Or if you've ever been in it, you know that it's really good. If you've ever seen it, you know that it's really, really good, but if you've not been in it, seen it, heard of it, you should get it out from a library or something and read it, because it's very good. And the girl who wrote it, I actually think this is a self-portrait, I might be wrong, I swear I saw an interview with her and she looks similar to this, was like 19 when she wrote it. It's just like mind-blowing because it's really like emotional and like deep, and it made me like cry at the end of it when we just did a read-through. I was there like because I'm sad like that. 2 books from my English literature reading course. Lady Chatterley's Lover I took out from my school library, and I just finished it because we were talking about it the other day in class and I thought it sounded interesting, so I read that. Didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to like it actually, but I'm glad I read it. And I have 2 books on the go at the moment. I have Mrs. Warren's Profession, which is a book basically about a prostitute who wants to put her daughter through university or something like that. I'm literally a couple of pages into this, so it doesn't really count. But it's another one that's on my English literature course, so I've just started that. And this is really embarrassing. This is The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. And a friend of mine lent this to me coming up on a whole year ago. And I have only just got around to reading it. It's not even a big book. It's not even, like, the print is like, wow, it's just too bright. But it's really not a big book. I could probably sit down and read this in like a couple of hours, if that. I'm just really, really good at procrastinating. So that was it. I probably should have been a bit more intelligent and just gone a bit more in-depth about the current books that I'm reading. But I just want to give you a general overview because I could. I'm actually quite excited. I don't know, excited is the wrong word. I'm actually quite interested to find out what everyone else is reading. There we go. Yeah. I like knowing what people are reading, if that makes sense. Am I weird? I'll see you next Monday. Bye!